Okay, so we're starting with the new topic now, measurements. So we're just gonna brush up on the formulas for the different shapes, both 2D and 3D. Ne? Because 2D helps you figure out 3D. Or essentially 3D is made up of the 2D shapes. Ne? And then after we'll then move on to volume as well. Because your questions are a volume in the area. Ne? So
Yeah.
just started out with let's start with the easy ones. Square. Okay, so remember the area um is essentially, don't confuse it with perimeter because perimeter. So if we are looking at a house, ne, I'll make an example of a house. Ne, a house, the fence, the wall is the perimeter of the house. Ne, so it's what you calculate when you need to find out how many bricks you need to build your wall, or how much wire do you need in order to build your fence. Ne, so it's just the outside of your house. Ne?
Yes.
If they ask about perimeter, it's just the outside of your house. Ne? But once they talk about the area, they're talking about how much, if you needed to paint your house, ne? How much paint do you need to buy? Or if you needed to tile your house, how much how many tiles do you need? Ne? So this whole part, ne? Or how much tiles and paint do you need, because you're gonna paint the walls and then you're gonna tile the floor. Ne? That's what area is. So when we talk about area, we're talking about all the walls of the house, all the walls of the house, including the floor and the roof. Ne? And then when we talk about the volume, we then talk about, if we were to fill the house with water, how much water would we need? Ne? If we had to
Yes.
if we pretend the can be filled with water to the brim, how much water would we need to fill the house? Ne? So that's the difference. So the fence covers just the surrounding around the the shape, ne? And then area is everything in the shape, but volume is filling up the space inside the shape, ne? Yes. So area is usually defined as length times breadth. Ne? So for a square, you're just gonna multiply the length of this side times this length to get your area. Ne? Same thing for a
Yes.
rectangle. One side times one side. Ne? And for a triangle, we just did this when we did our area rule. Ne? Half the base times the perpendicular height. Ne?
Yes.
I hope that makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
You guys do know why it's half the base, right? Because here the base is not covered. Can you see?
Yes.
So we are accounting for the space that is not covered by the triangle. That's why we have half base times height. Because essentially, if this was a rectangle, then only half of the area is covered. Can you see? If you if you combine this blue side with this you're going to get a triangle that's similar to this one, and together you're going to get a triangle that's similar to this one, and together they make this rectangle. But remember, the rectangle is base times height. But now, if half if the other half of the triangle is missing, or if the other half of the rectangle is missing, then you can only say half base times height. I hope what I'm saying makes sense.
Yes.
It's the same as if this was a triangle, so if I cut this in half and now I just have this triangle, ne? You're gonna say half base times height because you have one half here and you have one half here. That makes sense. That's why we say half base times height.
Yes.
And then for a trapezium, it's half A plus B times the height. Again, also because missing spaces, that's why we have half. And then the parallelogram, base times height, and then a circle we all know pi r squared, where pi is 24/7 or 3.14. Does make sense?
Yeah.
We have any questions so far?
No.
Okay. And then when it comes to 3D shapes, ne, we can calculate the volume and the surface area. Ne? So remember, with 2D shapes, we just have area because we're just calculating the area of this one square, of this one rectangle. But however, when we have a 3D shape, the reason we say surface area is because we have to add the area of all surfaces or of all the walls that we have. Ne?
Yes.
So that's why we have surface area, sorry. And then volume, like I said, in a 2D shape, you cannot have volume because you are not filling up any space. There's no space. However, in a 3D shape, you do have space to fill up something. That's why we also calculate volume. Ne? So usually volume is area times height. Ne?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So volume of a right prism, you guys know what a right prism is, right? A cube or a rectangular prism. Yes, sorry, I nearly said rectangular cube. A cube or a rectangular prism. Ne?
Yes.
Area of the face times perpendicular height. Ne? And then surface area is length times breadth of all the sides added. Ne? For a cube, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times length times breadth because all the sides are equal. However, for a rectangular prism, it's going to be 2 times length times breadth plus 2 times length times breadth. Or no, 2 times length plus breadth plus 4 times length plus breadth. Ne? Also depending on what type of rectangular prism it is. So it can either be 2 times length times breadth plus 4 times length times breadth, or it can be 2 times length times breadth plus 2 times length times breadth plus 2 times length plus breadth. Ne? And then we have a pyramid, ne? And its volume is a third of the area of the base times perpendicular height. And then the surface area is all the sides. Ne? And then remember, pyramid can either be triangular pyramid or a square pyramid, ne? Or rectangular pyramid. Ne? So always have these things in mind because obviously the calculations differ depending on what the shape of the base is. Ne? And then we
Yes.
have a sphere, which is a circle, a ball, right? Its volume is 4 divided by 3 pi r cubed, and then its surface area will be 4 pi r squared. And then a cone, its volume will be a third of the area of the base times the cone's perpendicular height. And then the surface area is the area of all surfaces, which is usually pi r squared plus pi rs, ne? Where s is the slant height. Okay, let's start. Let me see if I have an easier one. Let's start with this 2D shape one, and then we'll do the others. Hold on. Okay, so Felicity, please
Yes.
calculate the area of the parallelogram.
The area.
Yeah.
A is equals to length times breadth, which is 9.
Okay, hold on. Mm-hmm.
Which is 15 times 9.
15 times. Wait, hold on. It's 15 times 9.
Which is 135 square centimeters.
15
times 9, which is 135 square centimeters.
Hold on.
135.
Oh, sorry. Oh no, you made a mistake. What did I say the formula for parallelogram is for area? It's not length times breadth, it's length times.
It's breadth times height. Yeah.
Yes, length times or breadth times height.
So, yeah.
So it's going to be
Fifth, yes. What? It's 9 times 8.
Mm-mm. Look carefully.
It's 15 times 8.
15 times 8.
Yeah.
Which is
120 square centimeters.
mm-hmm. Nigel, the next question is asking for the perimeter.
Perimeter
Mm.
of this parallelogram.
Mm.
Perimeter, I think it's length plus breadth.
That's it.
Plus length plus breadth.
So give me a simpler formula.
Is 2 open bracket length plus breadth close bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go back to the formula to the question.
Please go back to the question, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, say it, Bill.
Please go back to the question.
With pleasure, Nigel.
So, our length is 15 plus 9, which is 48.
Wait. Yo, okay. I like this question.
Our breadth is not 9.
No, it's not.
But then how are we going to find the
So if you look at the question, can you see where F is?
yes,
So
ma'am?
the parallelogram has to be the perimeter has to be 2DC plus 2BC. Can you see? But we have the length of BF. So we first have
Yes.
to find what AF is. Let me see something. Oh, okay. So we need to find BC, right? But we only have the length of BF. We don't know what is the distance between F and C. So that's our problem right now. We don't know what FC is. Ne?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you can do is first find out what AF is, right? This height, right? Why? Because it then becomes the perpendicular. Hold on, guys. Sorry, he's crying his sleep. So we have to find out what AF is to then use it as the perpendicular. So then we'll use the area that we found, right? And AF will be now the perpendicular height, and BC will be our breadth.
Yes.
Therefore, yeah. So therefore, we'll use that. So how do we find AF?
We don't have
Use
any.
Type of
space, so
Thank you. Use Pythagoras. Thank you, Felicity. Use Pythagoras. We have a right angle triangle. We have 9. We have 15 here. You're sleeping on the job, Nigel. You're sleeping on the job. Okay, so let's Pythagoras. AF squared is equals to AP squared minus BF squared. So AF squared is equals to 15 squared minus 9 squared. AF is equals to, let's calculate,
12.
12.
12.
And therefore, if the area is equals to 120, right? Area
Yes.
is equals to breadth times height. So now we know 120 is equals to B times the height, which is 12. So B is equals to
10.
10. Correct.
Yes.
So now that means perimeter is equals to 2 times length plus breadth, which is equals to 2 times 15 plus
10.
10. So perimeter is equals to
50.
50.
50. Correct. 50 centimeters. Did it make sense? Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, the meeting might end sooner, so please rejoin when it does. Okay, let's start. Before we start, you must first think how you're going to navigate this question. Or think of the shapes that you have. Remember, sometimes you need to break the shape apart in order to see what shapes it is made out of. So this pill, which shapes can you find?
A cylinder and 2 half spheres.
Yes, so a cylinder and 2 semispheres or 2 half spheres. Ne? So keep in mind when
Yes.
you're calculating volume and you're calculating surface area. Ne? So
Yes.
who wants to do question 1? Felicity, please. Yes. Hold on. Okay, let's go. What is the volume for a cylinder?
The volume is pi r squared times height.
Pi r squared h. Correct. So volume. So volume would be pi r squared h plus of a semicircle
Is 2 over 3 pi r cubed.
Mhm. What is r?
Ma'am, can I please see the question? It's 0.375.
What are we talking about? Oh,
Mm,
radius.
yeah. It's 0.375.
Height.
0.75. Oh,
Why is 0.75 beeps?
uh,
Because this one does not have a slanted height. Its height is its height. And then 2,
over.
let me do this because it's 2 of them. I'm just going to say 4. So over 3 pi
0.375.
Mhm.